The third stage is the norming stage. In this stage, you've stopped focusing on any one individual, including yourself, and you and everyone on the team is fully focused on the success of the entire team. You can't win a game trying to enhance the skills of one team member or focusing on one person's success. It's a team effort. So everyone on the team is starting to actively acknowledge the talents, skills, and experience that each member brings to the team, and everyone is willing to adapt to all need. Players are minimizing the me mentality. Examples of a me or me first mentality are a lack of effort on the practice field, failure to mentor younger players, never being pleased with the amount of passes thrown your way, or throwing others under the bus when the team has a poor performance. Instead, team members feel secure with their place on the team, and because of those feelings of security, information flows seamlessly and there is a team accountability. Let's look at activity 2. Write down up to 5 people on your team within each behavioral category where you recognize the need to enhance your relationship. For example, you might need to adapt to their communication or work style. Who can you think of that by you making adjustments, the relationship would be enhanced? Go ahead and take a few minutes to think through your team and ways you can enhance your relationship with individual people. Let's see how many yards you've moved down the field now. These will be your bonus points. Here are the categories. 1. Verbally acknowledge others' talents and successes. 2. Enhance teammate skills. 3. Adjust your communication or work style. And 4. Minimize the perception to others of having a me personality. Write down how many people you wrote in each category. For everyone you listed in category 1, give yourself 1 yard. For everyone you listed in category 2, give yourself 1 yard. For everyone you listed in category 3, give yourself 2 yards. You get more yardage for this category because it's a learned skill to adjust your communication or work style, and acknowledge that you need to make adjustments is a sign of a true leader. It's important that we realize that our communication and work style doesn't work well with everyone. More than likely, there's at least 1 or 2 people on your team where your style doesn't match. It's good to recognize who they are and what their styles are. Awareness is the key. So if you didn't list anyone in this category, give yourself a 5-yard penalty. To enhance this skill, you can also take our course series about interpersonal impact, communications and personality styles uncovered, understanding the 4 styles, connecting and avoiding landmines, and adjusting your style. And lastly, for everyone you listed under category 4, give yourself 5 yards. Having a me first or I know best personality can be a huge demotivator for a team. Unfortunately, many of us don't realize when this is the perception. Think about the times you say the word I versus we. Think about the times someone tells of a situation, and in an effort to relate, you tell of how you had the same situation happen to you. Or think of a time when you've shared unsolicited advice to a teammate. That's what a me personality is, and many times we unknowingly exhibit this quality. I'll tell you what, I'll give you another 15 seconds if you can identify anyone on your team that might have the perception that you have a me first or it's a me personality. Go ahead and write them down and give yourself 5 yards for each. After this exercise, you're charged with identifying ways to enhance how you interact with the teammates that you've listed and change the behaviors that align with each category. We'll give more specific strategies to help you in the course, Team Development, Strategies to Thrive in the Norming Stage. Before we move on to the 4th stage, make sure you keep up with how many yards you've gained because you're trying to beat your opponent. Oh wait, you don't even know that your opponent is me! You have to beat my team. And did I tell you that we're last year's Super Bowl winners? Essentially, you're playing against the champions, and you can expect the champions to always have the right answer. It's your job to keep up by exploring answers, and you can also get ahead by getting bonus points in activities where we can't play. The 4th stage is the performing stage. This is when everyone is working at peak performance levels and productivity is high. Team morale and encouragement is also high. Team members individually and collectively feel confident to get the job done and see the value in others. The team is not only able to manage the functional and technical aspects of their work, but also the interpersonal relationships. Problem solving and decision making is handled well. Everyone is pulling their own weight. Team huddles are keeping all team members informed. The trust among the team and the ability to provide honest feedback keeps the team working efficiently and effectively. Now let's see if you can get you closer to the goal line. Look in your workbook at Activity 3. Write down the value that your team members bring to the team in each of the following areas. I want you to think of at least one per person area. Hopefully you can think of more. Their ability to communicate. What are their communication strengths? Their ability to share their functional talents. What job-specific task do they do well? Their ability to help the team reach the team's goal. What behaviors do they exhibit that helps the team reach their goal? Before you answer those questions, let's look at step 1. Write down the names of everyone on the team in 2 categories. Category 1 are the people that is easiest to work with. Category 2 are the people you work with least effectively. Don't confuse this with likability. Think about personality differences, cultural differences, work style differences. It's important that you write down people in both categories. Now look at the questions again that are on the screen. You can only answer these questions using the people on the list of those that you find it more challenging to work with. Go ahead and you can begin this activity now. Did you get the point? Everyone has gifts and talents, functional and personality-wise, that can impact the team positively. And in order for a team to work well, to reach their goal, to get to the goal line, those positive traits have to be recognized, acknowledged, and valued. Let's get your final score and see how close you are to the goal line. Give your team 5 additional yards if you advance the ball between 10 to 15 yards. Give your team 10 additional yards if you advance the ball between 15 to 20 yards. Give your team 15 additional yards if you advance the ball between 20 and 25 yards. Give your team 20 additional yards if you advance the ball between 25 to 30 yards. A few points that are important to remember about the dynamics of team development. Certain stages can be more or less pleasant, but all teams go through all stages to get to a point where they're performing well. So don't shy away from conflict. It's a necessary part of team development. Teams will spend a different amount of time in each stage. Much of it depends on the leader's ability to identify where the team is and what they need. If teams don't resolve the group, dynamic, and task activities of any stage, it is highly likely that at some point they will return to that stage. For example, the group might return to forming if there's a change in the composition of the group, a team member joins or leaves, there's a change in the group's leader, or the team tackles a brand new project. The team's goal is to reach and stay at the performing stage. Even if the team reverts back to a prior stage, their goal is to get back to the performing stage as quickly as possible. Team leaders should always be aware of the stage of development their team is in. The team's work, personalities within a team, and the environment the team works in greatly impact how teams move through these stages. Also, being able to quickly identify and understand these stages and your response will speed the process of forming, storming, norming, and performing, which means the team becomes effective much more quickly. Well, if you didn't cross the goal line, I'll give you one final chance. Take your final quiz, and for each question you get right, you can earn an extra 2 yards. As you can see, I'm 10 yards from the goal line. Can you beat me?